This is the village of Pilger after it was devastated by two tornadoes on June 16th of 2014. According to an article written by Mooring and Howard Perry, Marc Forsyth is an adjuster from State Farm Insurance, and he had gone out to evaluate the damage caused by these tornadoes. He stated that all but 20 homes had been affected in one way or another. Upon further research, I found that in 1950 and again in 1954, there were two EF4 tornadoes that struck near that same village of Pilger. At that time, the estimated damage was between $500,000 and $5 million. That was 60 years ago. According to Onboard Informatics in 2011, the median price of a housing unit or a condo unit in the village of Pilger was $56,792. At the end of my speech, I would like my audience to be able to understand the importance of insurance, how it affects us, how it affects sustainability, and to better understand their insurance policy. I was licensed in property casualty insurance in 1995 in the state of Arizona. I worked for American Family Insurance for approximately 10 years. I moved to Nebraska in 2008, and at that time I transferred my insurance license to the state of Nebraska. I worked for a short period of time for American Family here in the state of Nebraska, and then I went to work for the League Association of Risk Management out of Lincoln, Nebraska. They are an insurance pool that handles the insurance for cities and villages throughout the state of Nebraska. At that time, we insured the village of Pilger, and according to their website in 2013, they still insured the village of Pilger. I would like to discuss today how insurance affects us, what it means, and how it affects sustainability. Also, how to tell if you're properly covered. Do you have $56,000 sitting in your checking account? I don't. Who do you think is going to clean up the devastation, the debris, and the waste that these tornadoes scattered all the way across the county? And do you know even what your insurance policy covers? Insurance is meant to put us back to life as we knew it before a devastating loss, to help us rebuild, to replace necessities, belongings, buildings, vehicles, equipment, livestock, food, grain, and more. According to that same article from Mooring and Howard Perry, that Marc Forsyth from State Farm, as of Monday evening, June 16th, he met 3 separate families and handed them checks for temporary housing, food, and clothing. Without that, what would they have done? Without that, what would we do? Insurance also affects sustainability in many ways, replacing things crucial to survival: food, cattle, equipment to water crops, grain, and seed. Insurance is also who's cleaning up the devastation, the debris, and the waste from those 2 tornadoes. I had a discussion with my insurance agent, Sean Kreisels of State Farm Insurance, and we discussed coverages in general and how we need to be aware of what our coverages mean and what they cover. A lot of policies will cover you with an amount, a number, for replacement of certain items. It's important to understand if your policy gives you a replacement cost or actual cash value. It is also very important to understand that many insurance policies have exclusions that we're unaware of. Flood is not covered by an average homeowner's policy. Flood needs to be obtained through the federal government, through FEMA. It can be written by your insurance agent, however, it is not written through the insurance company themselves, and it is excluded from your homeowner's policy. Also, understanding deductibles, you need to also understand that your deductible is taken directly off of the top of any claim and any payment that you receive from the insurance company. So it's very important to be able to afford that deductible in case of a loss. Insurance is part of survival. Insurance is important and an everyday need. Insurance can protect you and society as a whole in more ways than one. I don't have a major amount of cash sitting in my checking account in case of a loss, and I don't really know too many people that do. I'm sure that rancher, due to CBS, CBS News had interviewed a rancher in the village of Pilger, and he had lost 300 head of cattle in Monday's storm. That cattle is estimated at $2,000 per head. I'm pretty sure he doesn't have $600,000 sitting in his checking account. Do you understand your coverages a little bit more? And do you think that you're properly covered?